There we go. Alright. Welcome everyone to Ultra Love, where ultras go to make love and make more ultras. Although that's not how ultras are made. They're made from larvae.
They can still love.
So I don't know how this works.
They can still love, I believe.
I don't think Zergs can love. Not within their. They can kill. I don't know. They can lust for blood, maybe. But I don't know if love is in their vocabulary. Anyway, in the southwest corner of the map, all the way from the land of South Korea, playing for Shopify Rebellion, it is our Red Terran, the one, the only ByuN army, ByuN.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Canadian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we are going to be settling into another TvP.
Broken Horn loved the Kerrigan? Who's Broken Horn? Queens love hatcheries. Yes, they laid their eggs in them.
Also, yeah, true. I mean, the whole StarCraft 2 storyline was a love story, right? Unironically. True.
No.
Unfortunately,
No.
true.
No.
Uh-huh.
That's because somewhere between Brood War and Wings of Liberty, the writers of Blizzard became, I don't know, brain damaged or something.
Uh-huh. But that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, but Raynor, he loves Kerrigan. He didn't swear to kill her because he murdered billions of people. At all. He forgot about it. Because he was drunk or something.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Damn it. The lore of this game should have been really, really good, but instead it got real stupid real fast.
Uh-huh.
There's still a lot I like about it, don't get me wrong. I like the lore of the game and the setting, but some of the writing is just very... I'm 14 years old and I think I know what people think, how people love each other. And it's like,
Yeah, the writing for SC2 is questionable at best. But that leads us into our fresh best of 3. That leads us into our 1-1-1 opener out of ByuN. We already just experienced our first TvP. We'll see how Trigger and ByuN differ from their predecessors here in this lower semifinals match. So far, going to be blink-based opener here by Trigger. So far, so good. Meanwhile, ByuN opening up with what looks to be his own Mind Drop. Not just Mind Drop, Mines and Marines as well.
one thing I think ByuN is going to be much more different than Kyo is going to be a lot more active in terms of dropping and harassing. That's his signature.
As he does move out across the map. Meanwhile, we do see Trigger trying to be active here back at home, opening up with his Sentry, Shield Battery here at the natural. Stalkers are warping in, and we'll see if he can keep up.
Trigger does have scouting units there trying to catch this incoming medivac, but is he going to be prepared? Not really responding yet. There we go, there's the response. We don't mind. Oh, gonna get wasted on one of the stalkers, so not gonna get any worker kills here.
Yeah, takes
Actually, no, that's a sentry. That was takes on the sentry.
Yeah, it takes down the sentry. Just a really nice damage here by ByuN as he doesn't lose a single unit. It does pull away with a full medevac. Likewise, we do see Trigger finishing up with his own blink. Also, for those that are tuning in, I do apologize for the in-game frame drops. After this game, we'll be turning on VPN to clear things up. For now, though, we're settling into that first game. We'll try to weather the storm. We'll try to persevere.
Yeah, it looks great on my end.
That's great.
That's not helpful, Stilmold.
That means nothing.
That means nothing. Your stream quality means nothing to me. Uh, okay, so Steam is on the way for ByuN, as is his favorite. He's setting up a bit of a push here with a tank, and the second tank is on the way, as is his tradition. Trigger trying to set up a third base, and let's see where ByuN's push is going to take him. Is he going to try and deny the third base? No, it looks like he's going to defend his own third instead.
Yeah, nice catch.
Let's take that.
Yeah, does pre-siege, does get a couple of shots off here on the main army. ByuN is going to be moving out. Bearing in mind this move out is without stim, it's very similar to actually what we saw previously from Pure. Meanwhile, the tower is knocked down, barely doesn't get any units, and Trigger, he has to get the hell out of here, has to pull back and buy time.
Also, different from Christiana, Trigger going for a very early storm.
Yeah, so charge into Storm instead of charge into Colossus, so Trigger does take a different approach. Meanwhile, ByuN is moving in, he's so close here to getting within range of the Nexus.
Good control by Trigger there, keeping those Stalkers alive, buying some time to get some more reinforcements in. There is a Warp Prism on the way. So far, ByuN's tanks are a bit far behind. They are threatening the Nexus, but he's not going to lose any workers here anytime soon.
Yeah, so we do have a couple of worker kills in the main base due to the order turrets. Not too bad. Meanwhile, the Nexus taking a lot of hits. One more volley, and the Nexus does go down.
Great moves by ByuN, but there's the storm! Oh! And then blink forward on top of the tanks and the medivac. Oh, most of this is going to get cleaned up.
Yeah, not
Actually,
the
all of
clean.
this is going to get cleaned up.
Yeah, not the cleanest trade there from Trigger, as he does bleed out a lot of Stalkers in the process, but regardless, he does shut it down, does hold on, will lose a third base in the process, so that was a big loss there for Trigger, and now he has to counterattack, he has to move out.
ByuN is going for another drop. He still has that Raven between the natural and the main of Trigger. Trigger moving out across the map, and he's actually going back. He's being hesitant in the middle of the map, and ByuN, you know, he's uses opportunities. He's giving him a bit of a second to move, and he's moving.
Yeah, he does.
He's going to jump on top of that main base.
He does stem into the middle line. Pro's going to be going down. Storm is going to shut this down and force the pickup. But behind this, ByuN, he is building up, getting to his third TC. Likewise, moving out with more drop play. Trigger heading into the middle line, going for his own counter play as well.
Storm drops on the main mineral line of ByuN. Does have some units here to push this away, and he's still attacking on the other side of the map. He's got the Raven, he's got two medivac drops. ByuN is the kind of Terran who can actually handle all of these at the same time. It's very scary.
Yeah, so far he is pulling Trigger apart. This is all slowly adding up. Again, Trigger, he still does not have a third base. That is slowing him down so heavily here. He's somewhat keeping up with the drops themselves and will be able to storm. Oh, nice feed max. But the medivacs, they do barely survive.
ByuN is actually bringing his medivacs home right now. I think he's setting up a third base. He's floating it into position. I think he's going to try and set up a defensive position there. He doesn't want to keep throwing his units on harassment right now.
Yeah, ByuN attempting to claim his own third. Meanwhile, Trigger, he is committed at this point. He's committed, he's moving out. He has plenty of High Templar. He's got a lot of Storms available. And we'll see if Trigger can break ByuN. ByuN has been doing an amazing job harassing. That is true. He's been getting a lot of economic damage. But can he survive the push?
He barely has any army here, though. Medivac going to get sniped here. Or not. Oh, it does get sniped. There is a Warp Prism for Trigger here, so he can reinforce. ByuN's other drop is going into the third base of Trigger while this is going on. He might actually snipe it all together. The Storms are doing a great job here, but these Templars are running out of energy. There aren't a lot of Storms left in this.
Oh no! The EMP does connect.
Oh!
Yeah, EMP does
second
cover.
EMP depletes all of these. They're going to morph into Archons.
Yeah,
Anti-armor missile hits as well.
Yeah, it's going to be no Storms left. At least we do have one more High Templar here in the Prism. Actually, two more High Templar, so some Storms are available. Third base is going to be going down, but remember, this is an all-in. Like Trigger, he's completely all-in. He has to end the game with this push as he loses his third for a second time.
And ByuN is still there, so he's preventing any kind of just probe just moving in there and trying to set up a base again. And he's holding at home, so Trigger is in a lot of trouble. ByuN is losing some workers, but he's still way ahead in economy right now.
Yeah, he is ahead. He's maintaining himself on 2 bases. Again, the longer this goes on, the better it is for ByuN. Attempted drop play into the middle line, but alas, ByuN, he will shut this down. He will force this back.
ByuN is consolidating some of his forces. He's going to try going for a multi-prong here, maybe? No, he's just going to bring everybody together. There are a lot of ghosts here. There are 6 ghosts. That's a lot of EMP potential, and those Archons, if they get hit by EMP, they become nothing.
And Trigger, he backs off, and unfortunately this just is not good enough. We can see Trigger, he's retaking his third base, he's re-expanding, trying to get back into this game, but the reality is the damage has been done, and he can't quite recover from here. He needs something more across the map, as ByuN is miles ahead economically.
Oh. It's a problem. The Vikings are taking care of the Warp Prism, so no more Storm Micro from Trigger. And ByuN can just weather the storm if he can. He can just keep on pushing forward. That's a lot of storms, but no more storms. There's just one Archon left here. You can just snipe that.
Yeah, ByuN takes every storm to the face, but he survives. He weathers the storm. He likes the Pappy. At the same time, the third base is going to be forced to lift. 7 ACVs do go down. That's some decent damage. With Trigger, he will lose most of his High Templar in the process. Another storm will connect. Another storm does graze the army here, but Trigger still needs more.
And ByuN still has a good count of ghosts left, so it's very dangerous for Trigger. You know, one good hit with an EMP shuts down his storms, shuts down his Archons, and he's kind of screwed.
Exactly, and we'll see if he can somehow find a better fight here. He needs the best fight possible. Check the units tab, we have 7 High Templar. 7 High Templar, that's a lot of storms, and that might still be enough if he avoids the EMPs.
And he does have another Warp Prism, so he can micro those storms, so they don't get hit by the EMPs. Oh, but they get shut down by the Vikings again immediately. Oh no. Still has a lot of storms here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, as EMPs are popping
hit
up.
The Archons.
You hit once again, like where storms, they zone away the main army, headed towards the mineral line. A couple more SCVs going down. Another EMP connects though.
There are still a few storms left here. That's not going to be enough. Some more EMPs hit the Templars. The Archons are very low on shields. And that's most of what they have.
Yeah, as ByuN, he will chase this down, kiting on 4, taking down 1, taking down another Archon as well. Trigger, he's forced all the way back. And once again, he does reinforce the more High Templar. He will have one more storm available here, so it just barely is enough for ByuN to break through. But behind this, he's fully saturated on 3 bases. He can start working on a 4th CC. ByuN is still looking quite solid.
And he has the much bigger army, and he does have map control at the moment. Trigger does manage to sneak around the main army of ByuN with a few charge lots, but I don't know if that's ever going to do enough damage at home.
Yeah, as ByuN is pushing forward again, there's still a lot of High Templar. It's like for whatever reason, Trigger, he's always got like 1, 2, 3 High Templar left over. He always has a storm in his pockets. But despite that, we've seen ByuN, he can just take the storms to the face anyway. Like, he doesn't care, and he lands EMPs. Oh my god.
Yeah, and he keeps on pushing forward here. This is just, this is the 4th Warp Prism, by the way. And that goes down as well.
Yeah, the prism
this
goes
base
down.
is not likely to live. GG is called, and ByuN will take game number 1 in another very back and forth TvP. That's surprisingly very different than the series we saw before.
Yeah, GG. Yeah, GG, well played. A very intense back and forth here between ByuN and Trigger. Again, as you mentioned, a very different dynamic. A lot of it is because Trigger did just go for a different composition, going into a very storm-heavy composition instead, and did have some mixed success with it. It was just really unfortunate, though. TvP is just very momentum-based, so for Trigger to lose his first third base was a brutal blow, and it was something that he did have a really hard time recovering from, as he never really maintained a greater economy. If you remember, he did lose his third base twice in that game.
Mm-hmm. Did you switch VPN thingy?
Yes.
Okay.
As we're getting into game 2, game 2 is going to be on Amygdala.
What the Amygdala? The part of your brain that's responsible for memory and thinking and decision making.
Oh, there you go.
You know, all the parts I don't have. Alrighty then. Welcome everyone to Amygdala, where we're all insane in the membrane. We're insane, got no brain. We're in the southwest corner of the map, all the way from the land of South Korea, playing for Shopify Rebellion, the legend, the one-man army that is ByuN.
And spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the Canadian Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. But yes, for those that are asking about the game dropping frames, as we did mention, it's just bad routing. It's just bad routing. Now it's silky smooth, as you can see. All you have to do is just turn on a VPN, and you're good to go.
Yeah, it goes around the sharks in the ocean,
It does.
hitting up the cables.
Exactly.
From Australia between Australia and Asia.
Mhm.
So it's a thing.
Mhm.
It's a meme, but it's also a thing.
Yeah, so as you're curious, it's very common for players to use VPNs when competing in StarCraft as well, just to minimize, latency like that. And just for whatever reason, the nodes in StarCraft can be very unstable. For whatever reason. That's fine.
It's always the internet is weird. It's how Europe has like really weird connections. Like sometimes I have better connection to NA than to Europe for some weird reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. It happens. For now, though, we're going to be settling into our games. Welcome one and all to Amygdala. Amygdala being one of the larger maps in the map pool. For the first time in quite some time, we have our Terran player not opening double gas. This is a more economic build here by ByuN.
And Trigger being standards as well, nothing super crazy. Every time I get a glimpse of the background on some of these maps, it's really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, got this planet. It's a really, I want that like as a poster. Just the planet at the back. Forget the map. I don't want the map. I just want the background.
For sure. The planet in the background is really sick. How you can kind of pan around and see it in the background. But when it comes to the game itself, ByuN, he is cutting corners. He is known for this. If you've been watching ByuN for any period of time, you'll know the build that this is. 3 CC, 3 racks out of ByuN. This is the side Delta build, but he also does whip this out on maps like Amygdala and some of the other maps as well. This is hyper greedy out of ByuN, and this will snowball out of control in the mid game if Trigger does not punish the insanely fast third CC.
Yeah, super greedy by ByuN, which is not usually his style, He usually wants to get a very solid army early on in the game so he can be very active on the map. That's usually more his forte. But we're on Amygdala. Maybe his brain is missing something here. I don't know.
Yeah, as we mentioned,
he's responsible for decision making, so
Yeah, as you mentioned, this is a very common build from ByuN when it comes to these larger maps. Again, it's just really greedy, and it does snowball quite heavily in said mid-game. So far, Trigger is unaware. Trigger, he has not probe scouted. He has no vision whatsoever across the map. He is going for a standard opener himself, but again, the longer this goes on without a scout, the more concerned I'm going to be, as ByuN may get away with this.
Well, Trigger does go for a third base. Maybe he's kind of smelling, oh, well, you haven't harassed me yet, so maybe you are playing greedy.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 2-gate opening.
Or maybe he's just waiting for the hammer to drop and is like super nervous right now.
Well, Trigger, he does go for a very economic build here. It's 2 gates into a expansion, so very economic build here by Trigger. It looks like he doesn't really care what his opponent's up to. He's like, you know what, I'm just going to open up economically anyway. So as the dust settles here, ByuN is going to be in a better position. And I don't blame Trigger, but it's just not a very common build that ByuN's going for. So Trigger, he's not aware and he won't be able to punish.
I find it very dangerous not to care what ByuN is doing on the other side of the map.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I don't care what my enemy is doing. Oh, I'm dead. It's like, oh, how did that happen? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so this is best case scenario for ByuN. From here, he can soon get into his upgrades, get into his third base. Where ByuN really, where this all really kicks into high gear is after the third base gets saturated. Observer goes in, but the Observer gets spotted instantly here by ByuN.
Indeed, indeed it does. Did he spot the third base though?
No.
Did not. So doesn't know about the third base being already ready. Oh, but the Adept might see it. There we go. Now he knows.
Yeah, now he knows.
So that's what you've been doing this entire time.
Yes.
Was wondering why I'm feeling too safe at home.
Yeah. So now he's aware of the greed of ByuN. At this point, though, it might just be too late. Stim is already done. Stim is done. There's a mass summon of Marines and Marauders. ByuN, he now feels safe enough to take his third base. Again, the pressure's on Trigger to delay the third even longer if at all possible.
And between Steam and +1 damage, and the Marauders here as well, these Stalkers are not going to contain ByuN, even for a second.
Yes, he does have to pull away, does have to back off. ByuN, he is forced to stim initially, and Trigger, he does rotate over towards said third base. He'll be able to get a couple of SCV kills. He gets one, he gets two SCVs, he does nice sun mining time. Not bad.
Okay, but it does manage. I need to recall here because, yeah, you can't really get much more than this. And ByuN now should have excellent map control with that extra early economy setup. I like there's an observer just following the army. Just shh, don't tell anyone. Just act like you belong.
He's doing his best Marine impression as ByuN does move out. It is going to be Colossus follow-up here to Trigger, not Storm this time, so a little bit of a more standard follow-up here from our Protoss player, but we'll see if he can survive long enough until that first Colossus.
I don't think ByuN has enough here to break or even kill that base, but it does have enough to maybe snipe some high-quality units from Trigger, which is going to be very useful, taking care of that Immortal, maybe catching some of those shield batteries so he can attack here later on. No, it keeps on pushing forward. Great control by ByuN. You know, that's really is his style, his micro style. He might even catch this Colossus. No, he decides to back away. He's left with only Marauders. All of the Marines are dead, but he manages to really put a dent on Trigger's army count here. Did take some damage at home though.
Yeah, that was 8 SCVs going down, so there was some counter damage, but as you mentioned, ByuN, he traded very, very well there. If it wasn't for the Colossus, he may have just broken Trigger then and there. As Trigger, he lost how many? He lost 8 Stalkers, lost an Immortal, lost Zealots as well. It was a brutal loss, and ByuN, he's not done. He's building up and getting ready for a second wave, for a second move out.
Most importantly, ByuN kept the Marauders alive. He only lost Marines there, so, you know, these are the beefy units you want to have against the Protoss. And I might be able to get a snipe on this base right here. I was about to say if ByuN controls well, but I don't see a universe where ByuN doesn't control his army really well. Well, no, the 2 Colossi is just too much.
Yeah, with that,
There are Vikings now.
Yeah, there are Vikings trickling in. Trigger, he does hold on. He does maintain the 4th base, so nice defense here by Trigger. This time he does not lose any high-tech units, but Trigger is still on the back foot. He's still the defender for the most part, and ByuN still maintains map control. 4th TC is now on the way, and ByuN is still maintaining that army.
Yeah, he's gonna go. Yeah, I was about to say he's probably going to go for the gold right here because it's a little closer to the enemy. And it's a great boost to the economy, especially with mules.
Definitely, as he's working towards that gold. Likewise, behind this, double starport on the way, getting into his Viking production. Again, he did see the Colossus. Now he knows he doesn't have to worry about any storms, any High Templar. Taking this guy.
Yeah, and he gets the Vikings to deal with that. A good amount. He's going to have 6 Vikings. Which is a pretty cool amount to have against that. They can snipe the Colossi really quickly if they find a good angle.
Trigger, he does a breakout.
They're also they're gonna have +1 air weapons, which is you don't see often.
Oh, meanwhile, Trigger, he does dive in. Oh my god, dives on in, takes down to the Vikings. Nice snipes here by Trigger, catching ByuN a little bit off guard.
That was a great catch because that keeps the Colossi safe from ByuN and keeps the push going
Yeah.
by Trigger.
ByuN, likewise, he has to play across the map. Zelte dive on in. Boys are being pulled. Ghost coming from behind. Nice EMP. I don't know if Marauders to break through this.
Oh, the Colossi gets, the Thermal Lance gets into the mineral line. The Colossi do go down, but ByuN lost so many workers here. That was not the best of trades.
I mean, he gets a full surround. He kills every single unit. The Stalkers go down. The Colossus goes down. That's the army reset now for Trigger. So Trigger, he has to race back home, and now he is vulnerable to a counterattack. And ByuN, he needs the counterattack. As you mentioned, he's down to 49 SCVs. He has to push.
He has to push. He does have the bigger army right now, but much of it is medivacs that are out of energy. They're kind of dead weight right now. They can barely keep this army healthy right now. And I don't know, can ByuN even be mobile on the map right now? He has to constantly defend at home.
Yeah, and you can
Trigger
see
is
here.
the one doing the 1-2 punches right now.
Yeah, as ByuN's being distracted, Trigger, he comes in from behind, catching out more SCVs, going for the mules, going for the depots. No major pickups, but damage nonetheless here by Trigger.
Trigger doing out ByuNing right now.
So far, not bad here, but ByuN is building up his forces. He does have 4 bases, he does have mules as well, so he is slowly recovering economically. He's catching back up.
Did lose that gold plan though, so you know, it's not as good as he had hoped. And Trigger is still has that map control. He's still pushing on the other side of the map the whole time, and he keeps getting a little bit of value every time, even if he still loses some of these units. These expensive Protoss units.
So Trigger, he is going to be rotating. He does get spotted here by ByuN. ByuN behind this, he has 4 ghosts. He has a decent amount of EMPs. Speaking of the EMPs, oh my god, blanket the entire army.
This part of the map is such a pit to go into. Like, it looks like you can go right in between the 3rd and the 4th, but you can't. You're just stuck in the low ground there. It's kind of a dangerous position to be in. Trigger does push forward. Most of his army is EMP'd though. ByuN, can he have enough here? The Vikings take care of the Colossi. There's only 1 Colossus left. A second one is coming in from the back to reinforce. And the Medivacs, they can't heal this army. ByuN is in a lot of trouble when it comes to army health.
Yeah, and ByuN, he's zoned away from his natural. He's zoned away. Zelte peel off into the middle line. SCV's going to be going down. Depots as well. Trigger, he's slowly pushing forward here. Likewise, picking up even more SCVs. So far, very nice positioning here from Trigger.
ByuN buying some time. 3-3 is about to finish. And he's trying to get some more reinforcements here. So far, Trigger is not doing super end-gaming damage just yet, but this charge by might be the one that breaks ByuN here.
Yeah, I love this patient play to Trigger again.
Please.
Just really, really careful with his army movement. He does take down the middle line. 26 SCVs go down. He gets like 1 or 2 ghosts here as well. Again, ByuN is being pulled apart.
Even if he kills this whole Protoss army, it's just not going to be enough. He's too far behind economically. Trigger is on 5 bases right now.
Yeah, and he breaks through
and the
here.
Colossi
overwhelms the
aren't
army.
even going down.
Yeah, Colossus, they move in. The Zelte have won. We go for another warp in. GG gets called, and Trigger, he ties up the series 1-1. He breaks ByuN, and we are going to game 3.
Yeah, a sideways 1-1.
So we're going to the ace match. Again, just really, really solid positional play there from Trigger. On top of that, we saw the earlier committed push. Even though Trigger, he was having a harder time against the earlier aggression of ByuN, he was able to catch ByuN with his pants down when he was able to go behind the army, catch him out and cripple the economy. That was like, what, like 40 SCV kills. It was crazy.
It all started to go downhill once ByuN was not on the other side of the map constantly. I mean, he got away with the early game greed, but just in the mid game, he was just so not active. It's very not characteristic of ByuN.
Yeah, he was trying to be, but that's also where the map works against you, just because of the size of the map. He was in the middle of trying to counterattack himself and trying to push on the right-hand side, but he was punished. That's exactly when Trigger moved in, and now we're getting into game number 3.
Game number 3, as we are once more on ley lines, as is traditions. We're in the northeast corner of the map, representing Shopify Rebellion and the land of South Korea. The legend, the one, it is ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, we have the blue Protoss, we have the Canadian Protoss player, we have the blue Protoss living in South Korea. It is Basilisk, or Trigger for Basilisk.
Yes, Deadfly in the clean room. This is my old man puppet.
Ah.
This
Oh,
is
no.
my old man puppet. This is the voice that he has. I'm a ventriloquist now. You didn't say it, but I'm actually moving myself with my hand. You don't want to know where the hand goes up.
That's why you were so engrossed in the hand and the wrist with Oreo. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense.
Yes, all the way up the wrists.
God. Yeah.
Both of them, double.
God.
That's the Oreo way.
But yeah, we're getting into the Ace match here. We're settling in. Once again, economic opener here by ByuN. On a map like Leylines, we don't expect to see that third CC build again. Usually it's only done on larger maps, so we should be calming down into a more standard kind of game.
Can't wait to see where this character arc goes. It goes nowhere. I'm just getting old and that's it. It ends there. It just goes on for a very long time. Okay, so both of them opening up pretty standardly. Nothing super crazy, like you said. Don't have a quick expansion by ByuN.
Yeah, there's no quick expansion, there's no faster TC, not yet at least, so ByuN is going to be settling in. Meanwhile, once again, Twilight Council opener out of Trigger, going into Blink.
I'm hoping we'll see a much more active ByuN on this map. Something that a little bit more his style. Is getting a Hellion, which you haven't seen in the TvP so far.
Yeah, ByuN, so he did skip his initial Reaper, so he skipped his Reaper, so it should only be one Hellion here just to scatter across the map. We'll see if ByuN does go for his Widowmine drop follow-up here as he's building up more Marines. Actually, no, never mind, he's making another Hellion.
Oh, it's a Hellion drop.
Yeah.
A Hellblight drop, maybe.
Yeah, so he's setting up for a Hellion drop here. A little bit more unorthodox. No armory, just Hellion. So just a Hellion drop here from ByuN. Not something you see too often here unless we get a proxied starport. So yeah, a bit of a more unique style.
But it is in his if you will, it is still a very active drop style, which is the ByuN way. I like that he has many options that he can choose from. Keeps your enemy off balance. You know, he's waiting for Widowmine drops or Raven drops, but instead gonna get some Hellion drops.
Yeah, again, it's on Trigger to figure out what's going on. One Adept is going to go down. Hellions, they do bypass the main army. So far, they've been unscouted. I doesn't know.
So they're not going to be dropped, but they are going to get into the natural base of Trigger. They should be able to sneak in there.
Yeah, so we have a drop towards the main, we have the Hellions will left towards the left-hand side. 3 Hellions will one-shot probes, so this is enough to wreak havoc here in the bases, and Trigger, he's across the map, he's not at home to defend.
Neither of them is at home to defend. Maybe Trigger is going to get pulled back here by the attack, yeah, but that's a distraction. The Hellions, they get into the natural mineral line, they line up. They don't quite get a lot of probes yet, but the lineup gonna get into a choke point. There is a shield battery that helps defend these probes, but it won't do that for long.
Yeah, both players are going to be losing workers here. There's going to be 8 probes in the natural base of Trigger. At the same time, he does deny mining at the natural of ByuN. ByuN does save most of his SCVs, bear that in mind, but he will lose control of the natural.
So they both took big hits to their economy right now. Trigger is going to be a little quicker to recover though, because his base is still up and running. ByuN still needs to clear this low ground before we can land this base.
Yeah, and
He
ByuN,
needs more units in order to do that.
yeah, he has to race back home. He's racing back home, and he should have enough. The Raven is spotted, and Trigger, he will have to pull out of here if he wants to preserve this army. Oh!
The tank is out. Oh. Well, it's okay. Once he can set up the siege tank, he can defend this natural base. But Trigger is getting a third base out on location. He's containing
He's going for the dive.
the
He's going for
turret
the tank.
on this side of the
Oh,
map. So
he gets it.
Oh, snipe! Very nice move. And saves the Stalker that took damage with the Warp Prism. Great micro by Trigger here.
Yeah, really nicely done here by Trigger. The second tank has arrived. Trigger, he does bypass, dropping into the main base instead. Can potentially pick up some add-ons here. No major damage, and even goes for the Raven.
Oh, gets the Raven! Oh, great value here by Trigger, and he warps in some reinforcements. It's going to be trying to stay here. The boys are being pulled. This is going to be a lot of economical damage for ByuN.
Yeah, SV is going to be going down. Tank will siege here in the main base. Trigger, he's trying to get away. He will get another tank, but he's taking a lot of losses. Nice control here.
Oh.
ByuN saves the tank.
Oh. Great control by both of these players. They're both microing their hearts out, but Trigger does lose a lot of Stalkers in this attack. 10 of them, and the Warp Prism as well. I don't know if this was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, he does cripple the
Oh,
economy.
they get stuck! Oh, no.
They're a little bit trapped
They
here.
get Yaku cursed.
Thankfully, they can always blink away, but yeah, didn't know that you could get stuck there in that location. Behind this Trigger, he's on 3 bases. So he's on 3 bases. He has very nice saturation. He can replenish his losses here. ByuN less so. ByuN is going to be contained a little bit longer here until his upgrades kick in.
Yeah, ByuN's economy is not the best. Right now, he's managing to keep pace with the Trigger on income because of the mules, but these don't last forever, and you know, you're gonna lose energy eventually.
Yeah, right now, Trigger, he is in the stronger position, but we'll see if he can keep up the drop play as the first Medvac does move out, and Trigger, he doesn't fan out his units. He does not spot the drop.
Does not spot it, and Trigger again is kind of containing ByuN here. If he doesn't, but what does he have to defend at home? He does have units there, and there are shield batteries. I don't know if this drop is going to do much. Oh, and there's a pylon here to spot it as well.
The Medvac does avoid the pylon, does a bob, does weave, does head into the main base. Trigger, he will have a recall back home if need be. And he should also have a warp in available as, oh, he actually does spend his warp in at the third.
That's not a lot of Marines though. Steam isn't even finished yet. Oh no. So this is not even nearly as powerful as it could be.
Yeah, gets 1, gets 2, gets
Gonna
3
get
pro
some
kills.
workers here, but this should get cleaned out. In the same time, ByuN pushes out of his 2-base contain. If he can depower this, it's actually no. There's a backup pylon. Never mind. I thought it was an Orthosis pylon for a second. Trigger's now on the back foot, but he does have Immortals. He has a sentry. He has a bunch of charge lots here.
Alright, let's go. The boys are being pulled as the 2-base all in here by ByuN. The first tank goes down, the second tank goes down, and without any tanks, it looks like Trigger, he should have enough. Trigger, he will shut this down. The boys are falling one after the other. ByuN, he still has a bio army though, but not much left.
Yeah, there are not any medivacs with energy. This army is very low on health. There's not a lot of reinforcements across the map. And Trigger can just, with the defender's advantage, push forward. GG is called, and Trigger will take the series 2-1 in this wonderful ace match.
Whew.
Very, very nicely done.
GG, well played. We were concerned about a TvT finals, but no, we have a PvP finals instead. In a twist of fate, Cristiano takes down Cure, and Trigger takes down ByuN. GG.
It is the age of the Protoss.
Yeah.
Disengage my hedge.
GG, well played. Here we go. We do have a PvP finals. We're going to be heading on over here to the American server. Trigger versus Cristiano in a best of 5.
Oh boy.